Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another wonderful episode all about how rejection is actually redirection and rejection is actually just protection. Now, let's face it, every one of us, including myself, is afraid to be rejected. We are so afraid to be rejected that we don't take the opportunities that we should take. We don't meet the people we should meet. We don't even speak our truth when we're supposed to speak our truths because we're afraid of rejection. But in this episode, I want to give you a totally different spin on rejection because rejection is not always bad. This is going to enable your subconscious mind to select or choose another pattern around rejection. And perhaps this will literally make sense once you listen to the entire podcast and have a totally different spin on rejection. And that will truly, truly, truly change your course towards your purpose or your dharma. Okay, so in my spiritual journey, there were so many times that I felt super rejected. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But the one lesson that I learned that was always difficult for me was that when I was rejected, I felt this surge of emotions, these ugly thoughts, feelings, and emotions come to me that always put me in this place of lack of self-worth or put me in a place of victimhood. And I decided I really want to change that. I decided that I no longer want to be part of that. I no longer wanted to face rejection as victimhood or lack of self-worth. So instead, I had to really master. I had to master how that rejection controlled my emotions, my feelings, and my intuition. So what did I do? Every situation that came to me where I was rejected, instead of just simply making it a rejection, I started thinking, what else could this be? How else could I take this versus a rejection? So one thing that came to me was that maybe it's a roadblock because I'm redirected to something way better. Because remember, the universe always has your back. And if you start believing that affirmation, that the universe always has my back, then how can there be rejection? How can there be rejection, which is a bad thing, right? So it got me thinking, and I'm like, well, this was a rejection. So what is the lesson, or what is the blessing in this rejection? What is the redirection in this rejection? And or what is the protection that I'm receiving? Because of course the angels, guides, and masters do not want me to walk that path, and that's why there is rejection. Right? So these are some thoughts that I started thinking whenever I was rejected. Maybe it was offer, that I was putting out there for my fellow clients and or followers. Maybe it was something I was trying to get as an opportunity but felt I couldn't get it because it was rejected or was a rejection there. And for you guys, it could be a new job, it could be a new relationship, it could be anything that you really wish would happen for you, but instead you always face rejection. But now you want to think it differently. So let's see. Here are some examples I put together, right, that might help you change your perspective around rejection a little bit. So remember, it's always this or something better. So if you feel rejected from something, you actually been directed to something else that is way, way better. But what do you do in the meantime? Because it's really hard to change your mindset from victimhood and lack of self-worth to redirection and that, yes, the universe has my back and something great's going to happen for me instead. What do you do in that gap or in that process where things actually haven't showed up, meaning the better thing hasn't showed up yet? So in that case, you just want to stay positive. You want to double up on the faith and trust and believe that something way better is actually on its way. The second point you want to remember is that nothing ever anyone says or does to you is ever because of you. It's always that if you feel rejected from a particular person, for example, take comfort in knowing that their actions towards you have nothing to do with who you are or your self-worth. It could actually be just them trying to reorganize their own feelings or trying to understand themselves a little better. Or maybe they're going through their own blocks or roadblocks in life, and that's why they have to reject the very offer that you have put across for them. Perfect. So moving right along, the fourth pointer is that remember that sometimes we do not know what is in our best interest, right? We possibly cannot know why this was a rejection. There's no way we can know that. But in all honesty, we can never know the full story from all angles, right? We can never know that. But you need to trust the universe, because the universe knows everything that's going on behind your back. It actually has your back at all times. It actually has a higher vision and a higher purpose for you. So it always knows what your divine mission, your soul purpose, or your dharma is. So it's always going to redirect you. Your guides know that, your ascended masters know that, your angels know that. So they're always going to make sure you're following that path and you don't really get off track somehow, somewhere, right? And then the fourth thing you also want to know is that even after all of this, if you're still feeling down and you're not being accepted by that job, by that group, by that peer group, by those friends or colleagues, maybe your spouse, your family, your parents, your friends, right? But you know that you're still amazingly capable, you're whole, you're lovable. But why is that not happening for you? I just want you to go down a little bit deeper and say to yourself, well, I know that I'm whole, I know I'm complete. You know, the right job, the right group, the right spouse, the right spousal relationship, the right friend will always show up when you fully remember and own this feeling and or emotion. Thank you so much everyone for listening, and I'm hoping this was a very insightful episode for you, and I would love to hear back from all of you on how you handle rejection in your life, and have you ever had a situation where you were rejected from something and then later realized that it was only redirection to something way better. So let me know, reach out to me, DM me, leave me a comment on my Instagram and or my Facebook group, and I would love to hear back about how you have handled rejection, and even better, if you were ever rejected and something way better appeared in your life for you. Lots of love and light. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you absolutely loved today's episode, I would love for you to connect with me on Instagram at Sacred Heart Nurse, or visit my website, sacredheartnurse.com. I also teach spiritual gift activations in my free Facebook group, so don't forget to check out the link in the episode notes section for this particular episode. I'm looking forward to connecting with all of you. So much love and light. Thank you so much.